Hey, so if you're American or live in America, you want to pay attention to this.
Antagonists of the U.S. Putin and Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro, who visited Moscow just last week. Experts say U.S. military and intelligence officials are closely watching the Putin Maduro partnership and how it may work against American interests close to American shores. They have a close military relationship. Russia does provide Venezuela with significant military support. Usually, with these close military relationships, a close intelligence relationship is part of that. Usually, with these close military relationships, a close intelligence relationship is part of that.
Yes, you heard that right. Venezuela and Russia are working together. Venezuela and Russia are working together. I'm saying that again. But for some reason, only these groups of people are the only ones permitted to be able to get a speedy process for them to get licenses and for them to be able to work. This is what Biden is pushing for on a federal level, right? What about the other groups of people that came over? What about the Haitians? What about maybe some of the Puerto Ricans? Let's not forget about the Chinese and some of the Middle Eastern people that came over here while they have us so distracted and looking at people of Latina descent. Yes, because I'm gonna keep it real with you. It seems like this is a whole sinister plot that's going on right now. Some of you people might not be aware, but Russia, China have teamed up with Brazil, India, South Africa, Argentina, Iran, Saudi Arabia, and a few other countries for them to not have to use the American dollar. Okay? You hear what I'm saying? Do you hear what I'm saying? So it's so crazy because they have a lot of American people right now so distracted and worried about them having to split the little bitty resources that they already had. Newsflash, the government is not here to take care of you. Okay? We should not even trust the government. Okay? And for a lot of people that are so pro police, oh, mark my words. Since Californian illegal immigrants are going to be able to start getting unemployment. Oh, yes, they're going to start getting unemployment. California says that you can get $300 a week for 20 weeks. You don't have to provide your social security number. You don't even have to provide proof of employment or past employment. They're just going to give you the money. Everything that Americans have fought so hard for to get, all the stipulations, the eligibility criteria you had to meet, they throwing that all out the window in exchange for them to be able to get cheap labor over here because nobody wants to work these rinky-dink jobs that don't pay any money to have you stressed out to the point that you can't even afford to pay for your antidepressants so you can continue to go back and forth to work. Because let's not forget, America wants us over medicated and they want to allow criminals to come over here and they're sacrificing our national security. Did we forget there are a lot of countries that do not like Americans? So I'm not even really focused on the immigrants per se. I'm focused on the distraction. I'm focused on why do you guys want us to have an attitude towards people that are less fortunate than us? It's not even about that. It's about the fact that you're trying to get us to turn against a group of people so you can distract us. That's what I don't appreciate that. I don't appreciate that because I don't know if America realized this, but America sold out blacks a long time ago. Maybe if America had not sold out blacks, we would not have to be so dependent on a lot of these outside countries and foreigners who do not like us. But now we're forced into this situation where we have to trade and we really don't export as much as we import in. Let's be clear. So everything's falling to crap. Nobody wants to deal with America. Our dollar is depreciating quick. Like, what are we going to do, especially the younger people? Because all the current politicians we have right now say that they only care about older people who are constantly medicated, who might not even be aware with what is even going on. Like, no shade, but I am just so appalled that you had a group of people to literally cause a insurrection. You had a group of people to go to the White House and demand for their justice when they're not even going through anything. They had a whole fit because the person they wanted to be in office could not be in office. Meanwhile, we're dealing with inflation, these high prices, groceries, everything is high. The education system here in America sucks. Like, everything is freaking terrible. They put fluoride in our water. They're giving kids milk when a lot of African American children are lactose intolerant. Like, what is the world coming to? Does nobody see that we have all been sold out? I hope that a lot of Americans are starting to see you're going to start being treated like you're black. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. The police is going to start protecting the illegal immigrants. And if you think about doing anything to those people, watch they lock you up for a hate crime. I'm not making this up. I'm not making this up. And I don't have a problem with anybody. What I don't like is the fact that this tool that is being used against all the people to divide us, they're using trickery and they're being wicked and they're causing so much chaos through their so-called policies and the things that they're trying to implement. It's like they act like they're coming in to save the day when all they do is create a problem. Like, why are they dumping illegal immigrants in neighborhoods that are already poor, where there's already a lack of food, when there's already poor education, poor access to healthcare? Like, what is going on? For instance, in Chicago, they're literally going to create a super tent. Now, what's going to happen when the wintertime rolls in and people start getting sick and they can't even social distance? What's going to happen? These kids are going to be at school with your children and some of them can't even speak English. So do you think that they're going to slow down the whole class so that way they can give these kids an opportunity for them to catch up? Or do you think that they're going to split the classes up? I don't think so. I think they're going to try to cause so much disruption and chaos in the American people to keep us distracted that we are not even in tune to what's really going on. And I am so tired of Democrats and Republicans bickering like little children. It's ridiculous. We are all Americans. I do not understand. I don't understand the radical left. I don't understand the radical right. Why does everybody have to be radical? Why can't we all just be treated respectfully? And why can't people that are broke get help? What is wrong with helping broke people? Clearly, we're helping people that aren't American. Shouldn't we be able to help broke Americans? What's so bad about that? Literally, you have people that are saying that, well, we need to help Ukraine, but you don't want to help anybody that's in your neighborhood. You wouldn't give a bum a canned good vegetable that's about to expire on your shelf, but you don't have a problem funding a war that is causing people to expire in real life. Like, I am confused, y'all. Like, what are we going to do? The weather's terrible. The air is terrible. Like, did anybody hear about Japan is going to start dumping, I think it was 2 million tons of nuclear waste in the oceans? Like, we're going to start getting fish that have legs. Like, they're manufacturing meat now. There was a situation where a lot of livestock ended up, expiring, we'll say it like that. And now they have this manufactured meat that basically they're injecting animal cells with cancer cells, and then they feed the cells sugar and all these things that actually aid cancer, which is probably why a lot of children are sick, because sugar fuels cancer. Like, I'm not even gonna have a nervous breakdown. At this point, like, y'all, we got to pray. We got to pray. We got to meditate. We have to come together. There is no more division. We do not have time for that, because the forces to be that have money, they are so selfish that they feel like they are the only people that are entitled to have a good life. Meanwhile, while you have the lower class and the middle class arguing about things that are not even important, things that go over their head, because there is some type of large propaganda and some type of conspiracy that they have placed on us. You know what? I have came to the conclusion. I think the majority of the people are under a spell. That's what I think. This is what I think. Because there's no way that we have all these intellectual people that went to Ivy League schools, who have all this education, that are in control of our nation. And every time they do something to screw us. They do something to screw us. It's like we can't have clean water to drink. You got people in America that still don't have clean water, and they sitting up here providing all this funding to people that are not even supposed to be here. FEMA just said they're broke. FEMA said that they have almost ran out of money. Like, y'all, what about the Maui situation? What about that? Y'all, it's so much weird-ish going on. I just want to know everybody's opinion, because at this point, I want to hear from intellectual people. I don't want to hear from people that want to make jokes and want to play, and people that want to point the fingers and say, well, these are the people that you put in office. I don't care who's appointed to a position. There should be a type of oath or some type of scruples or some type of integrity that you should have, because you are not in control of someone lying to you. Voters are not responsible for their politicians lying to them. They're not responsible for that. It's like everybody's agendas and everybody's priorities are so screwed up right now. Everything is screwed. Like, I don't have anything against the immigrants. Who knows? Maybe they'll come over here and they'll help build some housing. You know, we do need farmers. We have a shortage of food. Like, I don't know what's going on, but I think that everything they're doing right now is a project, and they just want to see how people are going to react. But if we are docile and we do not use our common sense, they will strip us from everything. Because at this point, America was built for the corporations, for them to profit and for them to get money and for certain families to thrive. Now that they don't have slavery, they don't have that free labor, they're trying to get cheap labor over here right now. And a lot of people who have always been conditioned, have always been a little bit overprivileged, do not seem to understand the struggle. You're going to be in it too. You're going to be in it too, because if these insurance companies act like they don't want to cover for these homes, it's only a matter of time before they start acting like they don't want to cover for people's expirations. And then what are some of you going to do when you're left with those medical bills? Because it's coming. When you let people come into a country and you cannot sustain them, and the people that come over here don't have a plan, and you as a government, you don't even try to come up with a plan, and your only plan is to take resources from other people that need it, I'm telling y'all, people are not going to be satisfied until there's nothing left. These hospitals are going to shut down. I'm telling you, these libraries, they're going to shut down. It's a lot of things that are going to happen, and it has nothing to do with conspiracy. It's just common sense. Common sense. The money has to come from somewhere. And it's always been a fact that poorer people pay majority of the debt. So where is this going to place all these Americans who have went to college, owe all this money back, rent is high? Just tell me, what is the answer? I really want to hear from the younger people who are looking at the world with a fresh set of eyes, and I want to hear from some of the older people that have been here, like, what has been the plan for the future all this time? Because I thought that when you are coming up, you're supposed to care about the people coming behind you. But it seems like all these politicians want to do is just exploit these immigrants and inflate the amount of money that they're spending so they can get paid. But for them to turn around and put the debt on the citizens' backs, like, what is going on? Like, this, it's like right now the politicians have turned into pimps, and they think that all of us are slow and that we're gonna get out on the stroll and we're gonna make them some money. Like, y'all, what is going on? What's up? What's up? But you know what? That's all I have to say. I've clearly been watching too much TikTok today. I am about to unplug and I am about to relax. But yeah, that was on my mind. That was on my mind because it blows my mind to find out that there are some people that have came over to this country who have literally been committing violent crimes, and they've been released back into society because it's taken too long for them to get the communication that they need to know that they need to hold this person. Or either it's been some type of fiasco where it's like, well, since we're in a silent city, we're not even going to work with Homeland Security or ICE if they say they need us to apprehend somebody. We're just not going to cooperate. What? So let me get this right. So the state can decide that we're not going to cooperate with the federal government, but they don't want to uphold our constitutional rights when they pull black people over and make you get out of your car. They search your car. They can disregard your constitutional rights, right? But they worried about the rights that these people are not even supposed to have. Are we not living in the Twilight Zone? Tell me, because I want to know.